So have you ever wondered about that parable with the landowner and the laborers, and the laborers that show up early in the day, they get the same amount of pay as the laborers that show up at 5 p.m. I thought, hey, that's really not fair. Well, on this past Sunday, I was at Mass and I received an inspiration like deep in my heart of a true meaning in this parable, and I was just blown away. I'm going to share that with you in this video. I hope you're having an amazing day. Carolyn Berghuis here, inspirational Catholic speaker, author of Understanding the Jesus Code, creator of the Live Method, and I'm here to help you learn how to live your life healthy, happy, and holy with weekly online videos. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. I'm really glad you're here. If at any point during this video you're enjoying the content, then please leave a comment in the comment section below. Any prayer requests, any thoughts for future videos, I'd really appreciate it. If you click the like button, the subscribe button, that would all be awesome too. I'd super appreciate it. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some insight that I received at Mass this past Sunday. And it's the homily was on the parable of the landlord and the laborers. And there was some discrepancy over payment, and it feels like it wasn't fair. However, the inspiration I received is really beautiful, and I want to share that with you today here in this video. And I believe it has the power to change your life and to change the lives of others, and ultimately really change the world so that we can live holy and live as God desired for us to live. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so today we're going to talk about Jesus's parable of the landowner and the laborers, and really what is underneath that, and where's the power underneath that. So the power that helps us to transform our lives, the lives of those we love, and the lives, and ultimately the lives of everyone in the world, because there's great power in this parable. And before we jump into it, I just want to say happy birthday to my oldest daughter today. Alicia is, well, I won't say, we shouldn't say how old the lady is, because that might let you know how old I am too. But anyway, it's her birthday, and I'm offering up this video and everything that I'm putting into it for God's intention for her life. And by the way, we can always offer up our work, of course, our prayers, like anything that we put energy into that is for the good, that we're trying to do God's will. We can offer it up for our loved ones. So I'm offering all this up for my oldest daughter, Alicia. Okay, so this parable, we have a landowner who goes out at dusk. Now, mind you, dusk is just when the sun is breaking forth. And of course, Jesus, a literal interpretation of the Bible really sells it short. So Jesus is the sun, and so you look at it, and here's the landowner going out at dawn, and just when the sun comes up, the darkness is gone. And I think even that has great imagery, and beyond imagery, has great power. It's like the rising of the sun, and we are part of His body. So we're already talking about the sun and the body of Christ. So, and then the landowner has a vineyard, and then grapes. Grapes are turned into wine, and wine's the precious blood. And gosh, I miss. Okay, so anyway, I really miss the precious blood, because it's COVID and we can't have that. And anyway, I digress a little bit. So anyways, maybe we just need more labor so we can have the precious blood back. Okay, so anyway, the labor goes out at dawn. The landowner goes out at dawn, gets some laborers, and they come in, and then he needs more laborers because he's just got all this work that needs to be done in his vineyard. So he goes out again at 9 and at noon and at 3 and hires more laborers and brings them in and tells them all he's going to give them a just wage. And then at 5 o'clock he goes back out, because this landowner, there's a great harvest that needs to be, just a great amount of work that needs to be done in this vineyard. So he goes back out again at 5, and he says, well, why have you been hanging around all day? And why aren't you working? And they say to him, and this is very interesting, he says that no one has hired us. So that kind of tells me that these laborers, they're looking around all day, looking for work, looking for direction, looking where to go. And so if we look at the world today, how the world has been, how humanity has been, people are looking for direction and looking for help, and they're looking for the one thing that only God can fulfill. And so the laborers that were hired at the break of dawn, that were hired first, so that they were the most blessed group of all of them, because all day long they got to work in the landlord's vineyard, in God's vineyard. And so if we are blessed to live like most of our life, when we're a baby, we're not maybe doing a whole lot for the kingdom, except bringing forth love, which really is the most important thing we can bring forth for the kingdom is love. So if we are blessed enough to participate in the kingdom and be kingdom builders, it's really kind of like the laborers that started working early in the morning at the break of dawn. And so, they have more time to not only help others, they have more time to heal from their wounds. And on that note, on my miracle prayer video, I invite you to take a look at that, because I go through the 7 steps, 7 very beautiful and deep spiritual steps to help heal from inner woundedness that we have. And it's part of being a kingdom builder. And we can only heal from our wounds through Jesus Christ with the Holy Trinity. So I invite you to take a look at that, because it all ties into the work. So in order to have the time to be to do God's work, we have to be with Him. So we look at those laborers that came early in the day. They were really the blessed ones. All day long, they were working. They had the security all day. They had the security of knowing that they had a job. They had income coming in for their families. There wasn't fear there. And we think of those workers that were out in the town or wherever the landlord was going and looking for workers and looking for his laborers. They didn't know. They didn't know that they had a job. They didn't know they were going to get the wages. So there certainly had to be an uncertainty and a fear. And when we are working for the Lord, when we're in His vineyard, when we're doing the harvesting for Him at His direction and His property, we have safety and security. So I think one of the things that we have to really look at is like Paul, because Paul, and as a matter of fact, the first reading on Sunday was Paul, Philippians, and it said, if I am to live in the flesh, then this means a fruitful labor for me, and I do not, and he doesn't know what he prefers, because he was also like on the fence there. He's like, well, it's hard working here in the world, and it is hard. And Paul understood the power of redemptive suffering. He understood the power of Jesus's salvific love. I mean, he got it. He suffered for God. He suffered for the Holy Trinity. He suffered for the name, and he said, not less of me, more of you, God, and I live not for myself, I live for you. So we can look at Paul's lead on this, and we see that those in the world, we're going to have suffering. And Romans 8:18, I consider that the sufferings of the present time are not worth comparing to the glory that is to come. God has so much glory for us, and that is to come. However, we have to endure our suffering, and actually not just endure it, we have to thrive through it. And that's where we unite ourselves with Christ. We unite ourselves with Christ because through Him all things are possible. Through Him all love is possible. And that is where the first shall be last. And so what does that mean? And then the last shall be first. It's because when we are first, when we are blessed enough to be first, it was we are behind those that came in later with love and support and you can do it. Because how many the lost sheep coming home, and then take your last seat at the banquet. Don't be proud, don't be haughty. Have humility and a humbleness about you to do kingdom building work, to do the Lord's work, and especially now the world. Like I said today, it's September 21st, 2020, and there's just so much pain and chaos in the world right now, and it's it's backwards world. Up is down and left is right, and it's just where have we landed? And because we have lost, we've lost our way, and there's not enough laborers in the vineyard, and we need our laborers in the vineyard, and those of us that are there early enough, we're the blessed ones. And we have the safety and security of knowing God, and we will be the last ones. And because we're there supporting through Jesus, it's only done through Jesus, supporting maybe the ones that came a little late in life that didn't know. And we celebrate when someone comes into the faith. We celebrate when we have a newly baptized Catholic and they get it and they fall in love with the Lord, and then they're part of our family. And so the next time you share this parable, I invite you to consider how blessed you are that maybe you're going to hear it at church. Maybe you're going to hear it with a Bible study. Maybe you're going to hear it with just you yourself alone in the Word, and just recognize how blessed you are. And yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, we're going to have hard times. That's the world, because this world right now, it's really there's a lot of pain, but I heard this quote. There was another YouTube video, and I can't remember who it was. It was really I think Dr. Taylor Thomas. Anyway, he said that this is a saint-making factory here. So there's going to be troubles. There's going to be hard times, and we can become saints. So we have to have some challenges. This isn't heaven yet. We're living in, we're living on earth, and there's going to be trials. So I hope that helps you in a deeper understanding of the parable of the landlord and the laborers. And that's it. I will be back again another time. And until then, keep staying healthy and happy and holy and living for God. God bless you.